So 2 to 3 Streets arose as a year-long project as part of the European Capital of Culture for the Ruhr region. So rather than a city, it was specifically a region. And it was across 3 cities in that region and involved 78 participants, volunteers if you like, who lived in apartments in those 3 cities over that year for free, rent-free. How did that idea come about?
Well, I think compared to what you would normally think about doing a work, it was not only what I wanted to do, it was also what the cities wanted to do. So actually we came together on that. It is shrinking cities, it's poor areas, it's empty houses, it's unemployment. So I mean, you need that. So you're producing in a context that is pretty different from what you would normally think where the artwork goes.
But European Capital of Culture is a celebration, isn't it? It's recognisably programmes that are full of events, and here was a project that involved a number of people living in apartments. So how did that play out as part of the European Capital of Culture?
In general, it is just the former industrial center of Germany. That was the reason why it was so destroyed, 95% of destruction. And today it is like almost 50% of immigration. And but there's a really incredible expectation that things should change and things should get better. And a means of integration of all kind of social, and then it sticks out in Germany totally. So after the coal mining was over, after the steel works were over, so now what is after the steel works is culture. And there's 30 art museums, 51 cities. There is an incredible infrastructure of culture. But now, after the crisis, culture collapsed too. So what is new is that people were ready to take over other construction, urbanists, politicians. Everybody was so well informed already about what art was doing that they wanted to, that they had an expectation that was almost crazy. And I had an expectation in art that was almost crazy.
What was that expectation?
That you can do it. And not that you can do it in a museum, but that you can do it on the street. Yeah. I think the street is the most beautiful gallery in the world. You don't own it. You don't set the timing. You don't know who is coming, and who is staying home. You are not with your buddies. So it is an incredible adventure each time.
So 9,000 visitors came to visit these 2 to 3 streets. What did they experience when they arrived?
Well, the subtitle of the 2 to 3 streets is an exhibition in the cities of the Ruhr. And I used all the time references from the normal art, which is like literature, the book, or exhibition, or things like that. Or the visitor school is a reference to the first documentas. And there was always a visitor school, but it was, of course, to show the people art. That was the sense of the visitor school. And I thought that it was so well done that we could now show to the art people the reality. And so it started from the idea, you live in a street, we live in a street. You are going home, we go home. And so just to bring really reality closer and closer, and to give information about public space, but also to move over to private space and to visit people and to visit immigrants and to visit participants and to have a food, to have a meal together. And so it was a very rewarding evening for these people. They paid for that. And so we made money that way. And
so they would arrive and they could go on a tour, or they could go on an event or a dinner.
Yes.
And was there also a place where they could read what was being written?
No,
that
they
was
could
all
write,
hidden.
they could participate, they could write. Nobody during that year read a line out of this book. We didn't know what was in it. And I think that was very important to protect it.
So 2 to 3 streets took place in not just one city, but in 3. Why did you make that choice?
Well, I wanted to be sure that if it was one city alone, it could have been because of some kind of reasons that were not in the work, outside the work. It was just coincident, it was anecdotal and so on. I wanted to be able to check it, and I wanted people to be able to check it, because I thought for the cities it is essential that they can check it. And I had
what do you mean by checking it?
If it is good enough, if it is working. I didn't want to do anything in the streets. I didn't want to touch anything, no hardware changes. Yeah. It was all about software changes. It was about how to include, how to make people, giving them a new reason to be where they were. They were in the streets, but they came from, I don't know, from Serbia or from north of Africa. And why should they be in these streets? They were like in little bunkers. Yeah. Each family was a bunker.
Yeah. And so outside of that street, so let's say there was one street in one city and one street next to it, you wouldn't see any difference between that street and the next street. The only difference, as you say, is in the software, is in the attitude for why they're there. Is that
yes,
right? Yeah.
And to give them pride, and to give them a sense that they are counting, that they are important, and that without them you cannot do it.
So what was your role as artists in this project? Were you ever present as this sort of charismatic figure, or did you recede from the action?
It's just a question if I was visible, to whom I was visible. I was there. I was on and off all the time there, but the thing was, who would see me, and who would know about me, and I think the participants, of course, they were thinking I was in charge of them, and so I had to deceive them a bit, to get them going, and to get them getting there. In that space, in that place, in that time. So, and then the other people in the streets, I don't think they knew me. I don't think if I walked in the street, of course I wasn't, but sometimes there was television, you know, of course that was, we always did a lot of work to get away from these images that, you know.
And when you say the participants, you deceive them, what does that mean?
It means that I cannot do their job, that I cannot do their life, and I cannot be their destiny. And there is no art that can do it for you. I mean, you have to become your own scenario and your own place and your own artist. And it's not that everybody needs to be an artist, but if you talk about creativity, why not you?
So this project was a year long, and elements are continuing without you. What's your moral responsibility to those people who went to live in those apartments?
Well, let's say maybe an open question. I didn't resolve it, and I had discussions, and they had discussions, and they had discussions among themselves. For me, from my point of view, I want to get rid of myself. And I think that art is a lot of knowledge, it's a lot of experience, and the last century was hugely important to give elements to people, to deal with things that were left with the emptiness of religion, the emptiness of authorities, and the emptiness of democracy. And so I think that it's an open space, and I cannot resolve anything, but I can initiate something. I'm like a scribe, you know. I wrote all my life, and now I help people to write. And I hope I can help them a little bit to create, but without becoming artist and the art and all the schmuckers. So I think that I help them to be a bit, but I won't say that I'm the solution of anything.
So your process can be somewhat unsettling or destabilising. How does that square with the commissioners behind 2 to 3 Streets?
Well, I'm not looking for a scandal, but I have to look that people, partners, come together, and that they come over, and sometimes I come over.
What do you mean, come over?
To their side, or that they come to my side. It's negotiation. It's part, maybe, of the necessary process of change, of acquiring, of becoming, and I think that is mainly the brief of art. But the best you can do is if you do it yourself.
So does that process of negotiation sometimes involve smuggling or deceiving?
Yeah, I would say so. It's you're not paid always to say the truth, and people can't work sometimes with the truth, and it's important that they move to a point that it becomes their option and their choice. And I'm there just to sometimes to drag, sometimes to push, and sometimes not to be there, and sometimes to be very much there.
Are there moments in that though where you get scared? So if you have like with 2 to 3 Streets, you have an idea, a script in your head of what could happen, but you don't know what's going to transpire as a result of setting that in play. So are there moments when you think, oh no, I didn't want this to happen? How do you shape it? How much control do you have?
Well, I think that is 2 to 3 Street. It's not a work that you would do at 27 years old, I mean, I was free because I had done other things before, and I was not looking for getting away with it. I wanted to be my own commissioner, and I wanted to be knowing for myself what the art thing was about for myself and my life, and so it's a work that you wouldn't do like coming out of college, I would say.
And within that life experience that allows you to do that, is it that you set something in play and in a sense nothing can go wrong because whatever results from setting that in play is the work? How could 2 to 3 Streets be a failure?
Oh, I mean, I can tell you it is a failure in parts, of course. I was never in my life happy with anything that I did. So, I mean, that is it's not a private matter. It goes as a doubt into every work. I don't talk to art people so much these days. I talk to politicians, I talk to private people, but who are really happy to take a risk. And I think art was small. Art was so small, so little, so cheap. And now it's so well known, and it's so big. And let's go back sometimes to the small things again. And I want to be at the beginning. I'm better about the beginning of something than about the end.
So the legacy of 2 to 3 Streets is in effect this book, this tome. A very different kind of legacy than a permanent public artwork. For example, in your monuments work or the new square that you've been working on. How does those different kinds of legacies for you as an artist resonate together?
I'm not against objects that disappear. I think we come out of a time where we were very proud to be able to do objects. And now we are on the edge of a time that is moving away from the objects. Your next phone will be smaller than that one that you have.
And the book is chronological And it's
from the first day
unedited. Yeah.
to the last day of that year, 2010, and it's every event that happened in that year, it's in it. From the soccer games to the catastrophes, everything has been in it, and it's been written by 871 people, and it is starting, and it's chronological, and it's starting, and it's not your name. Your name is just in the end of the book, and so it's one flow.
So you can't tell who's speaking.
No.
So in a sense, it becomes the subconscious of those streets, but also the visitors and the participants together.
I mean, the new joys of our democracy is the people. And we need a society that has a subconscious and can express the subconscious, and we need new formats. And I just wanted to make a book that expresses the respect that I have of the imagination of everybody.